Hey guys, this is Locke. As you can see, Karin can solo the 3-star hard exploration. Now, this might actually be a bit redundant and kind of useless to be honest, because why would you really want Karin to solo this? It's going to be way too slow, and she's also doing it in blue plus 0 gears. Like, why would you do that? It's just way too slow. There's no real reason for you to do that. So the reason that I'm showing you this is actually to illustrate something else that I think is actually kind of important. So if you take a look, let's look at her skill cooldowns to try to understand this first. So her first skill is a cooldown of 15 seconds. The second skill is a cooldown of 18 seconds. And the third skill is a cooldown of 27 seconds. But if you notice, if you just pay attention to the skill cooldown going down, you'll notice that it's actually going down a lot faster. It's about 40% faster than the numbers I just showed you because of the accessories that she's wearing. So I'll take a look at her equipment to show you what I mean. So as I said, she's wearing all blue gears, but it's this accessory set that's making her able to solo this. The time acceleration set, it basically decreases her skill cooldown for every basic attack that she does. Now, if she was attacking every single attack, like every single second she was doing one attack, it would actually be cooldown by about 50%. Like all of these cooldowns, you can reduce it by half. But because of the skill animation, like sometimes she takes a second or two to cast the different skills that she has, it's not exactly a 50% reduction. I would assume it's about 40% reduction. And that's basically enough to constantly be cycling her skills. Like she doesn't really have much of a downtime. The first skill especially, she can basically cast it every like 8-9 seconds. So it's a very, very fast skill cooldown. And this is basically what's allowing her to just solo this. Basically, she is still taking some damage. Like she's taking she can easily get down to half HP at some points, but because of her really fast skill cooldown, she's basically able to keep her HP topped up. Now, why is this concept important? Is because when you go into harder raids, harder, like the 8-man raid or the T14, 15, 4-man raids when they get released, you might not be able to have enough room to bring a second healer. Like you might only have to bring Karin and nobody else. And Karin will have to do the entire job of healing by herself. And sometimes that might be hard, especially if your account is under-leveled. So the reason I'm showing you this is maybe if you are a PvE player, you're not focused big on PvP, maybe it's good to focus on these accessories, because these accessories provide such a huge benefit for especially healers, but for everyone else too. It lets them cycle their normal skills faster. It lets them cycle, for example, like Rudy can cycle his shield and his other skills faster. Whoever you need to use. Another good example would be Serena, because every time she casts a skill, she automatically heals. So cycling her own skills faster and putting this set on her would just mean that she increases the amount of heals that she provides into the team. So that's the point that I wanted to illustrate, really. I'm not just trying to say, hey, Karin can solo this, so you just need to build up Karin and solo the 3-star stage. No, don't do that. That's just a waste of time, really. So I'm just showing you this because I want to say that, hey, she's able to cycle her skills so fast with the set that she's able to solo it. Now, you can basically use the same concept and take her with this accessory set and put her wherever else you need, right? Especially raids is a good content, and also some of the harder stage bosses. Like for example, if you're having a lot of difficulty with Tristan, the very hard Tristan, for example, when I did it, she was my solo healer. And I was thankfully I had a lot of gears already at legendaries. I had like a lot of plus 10 gears. I had a few plus 20 radiant pieces, especially armor pieces for her that let me survive. But if you aren't there, and a lot of people might not be there, then instead of doing that, maybe you might be able to instead equip her with the time acceleration accessory set to instead be able to do those stages where you otherwise would not be able to. Now, before I get into acquiring them, I just want to make a brief note quickly. You also have to pay attention to the animation speed and attack speed. So right now, I don't have her on extra attack speed. She only has like plus 2.4% attack speed, but you can put her on some formations that increases their attack speed to basically increase the effect that this provides by, faster attack speed means faster basic attacks, means faster cooldown because of, this effect. And animation speed, if you take a look at, for example, Cade, I noticed that all of his animations, including his basic attack, is very slow. I noticed that his attack pattern is actually like basic attack, and then he does like a one huge charge attack that does like twice the normal amount of damage. But it's still like, for this effect, it's a pretty bad effect because that extra hit doesn't give him two extra cooldown ticks. It just still gives him one cooldown tick, right? So this, unfortunately, like this effect is a bit reduced on him. So whoever you want to use this on, just also pay attention to their cast speed. Sorry, not cast speed. Pay attention to their cast time as well, because if their the skill animation for even the normal attack is very long, that means you're not getting in as many attacks as you would for somebody like Karin. And this is not only limited to, like, say, healers. You can actually use this to cycle other very interesting skills a lot. Like, for example, this is a good person to maybe take advantage of, because she has a damage immunity skill that lasts for about 10 seconds with a skill cooldown of 33. I can bring this down to about like 17 seconds, 18 seconds. And if you are cycling skills like almost every second because of this, that's going to come down from like 17 seconds to like maybe 12 seconds, right? So you only have 2 seconds or 2 to 3 seconds where you don't have this immunity buff on. That's a pretty interesting effect, right? So take a look at all the other units that you have, see what kind of skill cooldowns you can get and who you can really take advantage of with this. So now, I mean, I'm going to stop this, but you can see that she is not going to die from this. It's just going to take a very long time to defeat it. But I'm going to get out of this run and talk about where you can acquire this item and even why I'm bringing this up. So I have covered this before in a previous video, saying that this might be an alternative for people to do, but I really wanted to showcase this video to show you how effective this item is. So there are 2 places that you can acquire this this time acceleration piece from. The first one is from the 2-star exploration. So it actually drops 3 different pairs of accessories. It drops the cooldown, this Transcendent Woe accessory, and the Mirage accessory. So you have a chance of getting one of the 3. And the other place you can get it from is this one, the Chapter 4 explorations. Now, there is only a chance of getting this. Like, I know I've heard a lot of people saying that you've tried so hard but you still haven't gotten a single accessory, and that really sucks. That's too bad. But the reason I'm bringing this up is especially for PvE players. Maybe that's what you should be focusing on. Like, instead of focusing on trying to get a rage accessory or an immortal accessory, which will definitely help you in PvP, but still, like, unless you have everything else lined up as well, like unless you have a good roster of legendary plus units or a very high legendary units like level 46 up, and you have legendary pets and so on and so on, unless you have all those other things as well, you're probably still going to hit some kind of limit, even if you get like one single revive accessory or one single rage accessory. So instead, if you focus on getting, this piece, like the time acceleration piece, that's probably going to help you drastically in your PvE stuff. And if your PvE is going much better, that means you can farm everything else faster. Like, you could farm your your gears faster, because you can probably do higher levels of raid. You can probably do higher levels of dungeons. These dungeons are also going to be increased in level as well, by the way. They're going to go from T10 all the way up to T15. So you probably want to figure out how to increase your damage and so on with these as well. So, just think about it. Like, if you are really into PvP, you really want to figure out how to break the next stage in PvP and get the better rewards and so on and so on. Don't follow this. Like, this is strictly for PvE. It's really, really hard to take advantage of these accessories in PvP. So this is strictly only for PvE. There might be like one very niche case or something where it might be useful for PvP, but I don't really want to talk about that. But anyway, like, for PvE stuff, this is going to be really helpful. So this video that I made is just to show you, how I'm taking, like, one thing you can do with it. I don't think you should do exactly this. Like I said, this is kind of slow to really do. So don't do exactly this, but it's just to illustrate, how powerful these are, how fast you can cycle these skills. It is still going to take you some luck to get all three pieces. I actually had to re-roll for one of the pieces. I wasn't aiming for this. I was trying to get a rage piece, but I ended up with this, and I think I got one or two of them from the drops as well. So I mean, I definitely got lucky. And because I got lucky, I'm experimenting with this and showing off. But now that I have a full set, I can show you what it looks like, right? Like, this is what you can expect to have if you complete this set. But if this doesn't really appeal to you and you would rather have like a full rage set or a full revive set, then go for that. So I'm just trying to give you an idea of, when you do complete the set, this is how the effect would look like. That's what I'm trying to illustrate with this video. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you have other questions or comments, leave them down below, and I'll do my best to respond. And I will see you guys next time. Take care now.